If you think Thomas Edison on his 990th try to create the light bulb was not delusional in his process, you've got to think again, because he definitely was. And that's what we're talking about today. I just want to mention that everybody who's done anything amazing, great, invented anything, was a powerful person, changed their life in any which way, went against the odds, anything like that, they all had to be delusional, especially when it comes to something that you've had long held beliefs about. It's especially important. Like, for example, SP, if you've known them for a long time, specific person. If you have known them for years and years, you're going to have some sort of belief system in place about them already. So you're going to be delusional, especially at first, when you're recreating your beliefs about them. And when it comes to other things that that have been in your mind for a long time. So for example, self-concept, that's another really great one. You've been thinking about yourself in relation to every area of your life for as long as you've been alive, basically, right? So these things that you have thought about, and have had a lot of evidence about in your reality, these are the things that you are going to have to be especially delusional about at the very beginning, okay? That's what we're going to get into today, okay? So with self-concept and SP specifically, okay? Because some people have known SP for whatever, like 10 years, like it just depends how long you've known them or whatever. Maybe you've been friends for a long time, or, you've been interacting at work for a really long time. A lot of my clients have known their SP for like 15 years, like 10 to 15 years. So that's quite a long time to have developed beliefs about a certain topic, right? And then however long you've been alive is however long you've been thinking about your self-concept in relation to your relationships, in relation to your work, like what you're doing for a living, your workplace, your friends. You have a self-concept in relation to everything, every subject of your area, right? If you're a parent, how you are as a parent. If you're like, obviously we're all like sons and daughters, right? So just if we, just in every relationship in our lives, there is a specific self-concept about that relationship, right? And so we've been thinking this a certain way, and we've been relating to people in a certain way for our whole lives. So it's going to be super important to be delusional in these specific areas, okay? And then let me just check, I have notes here. So like, as I was saying, everybody that's ever done anything super amazing or whatever, it's just a good example to think of these people who you admire or who have changed the world in some way by inventing something or whatever. Like, I'm sure, I don't know this for sure, but like Thomas Edison, he probably went to bed some nights totally defeated, right? And then the next day he would have had to get up and go back into his like whatever light bulb lab and sit down and like, restart his delusion, or like reignite himself back into thinking like, okay, I can do this, right? And it literally, I believe somewhere I read a long time ago, it took him, I think, 1,000 tries to actually fully invent the light bulb, right? He had like all of these failures. And so if we all like trusted off like our failures or our disbelief in something, we would give up much sooner, right? So we just literally have to be delusional in our new belief system, right? Even if we don't believe it, it's going to be like totally foreign to us at the beginning. So another really good example I read about a long time ago was, what's his name? The Apple guy. What's his name? Steve Jobs. There's something that his employers call reality distortion field. Okay, I was going to say theory, but it's reality distortion field. And what it is his one guy at Apple coined it, right? It was like when Steve Jobs came in to the room or wherever and like gave this like speech or whatever, he'd always come in somewhere and like tell people what they're doing or what the new thing he's, inventing is. And he would say something like, totally unbelievable. These people started calling his field around him the reality distortion field, because he was just totally in his own world about what he thought was possible, right? And everyone around him was like, oh no, that's not even possible. We can't fit that little, that little chip into this thing. Like, we've never done that. That's not like, in their mind, it was like this unbelievable prospect to try to like do what he was saying to do, right? But he was like, he would stick to his guns. Steve Jobs would stick to whatever he was saying. He said like, this is it, this is gonna work, we're gonna do this. And like not even let anybody get in there and tell him anything different, right? And that's how we have to be. That's a great example of like what we need to be like in our world every day. When we wake up, when we go to bed, we've got to live in our delusion, or else who's going to believe it if we're not believing it? Like, no one else, especially other people, will not believe in your delusion. Like, that's why I definitely recommend not saying like, there's a lot of people who keep their manifestations, keep your thought process to yourself, keep what you're creating, your dreams, your like new beliefs you're implementing to yourself until people can like actually visibly see it, right? Because you just don't want to be discouraged, right? You want to do everything you can to like eliminate all potential discouragement, because it's already hard enough to like be in your delusion because you've already believed something else for a really long time. So you're already going to be having your opposing thoughts as far as like going into your, knowing that your new reality is the reality. A new reality is the real world, versus like the previous reality. Okay. So, and with that being said, I'm going to make this video like an action video. So I want you to eliminate everything. And I mean everything. People always try to say like, oh, but this, but that, but this. Oh no, I need this still. I need to have my Facebook or whatever. But I'm saying eliminate everything, literally everything that gets in the way of you believing your new delusion. And I'm talking like 100%. I'm not talking 80%, because people don't want to delete this. They don't want to stop talking to that one person. They don't want to, whatever you need to do. I don't want to think of all the examples of these people who have told me like, oh, I can't do that. But whatever you need to do, if you need to delete your Facebook, whatever reminds you of the old story, I want you to delete it. Don't delete your Facebook, go off social media, whatever you need to do for a period of time before, like, until you start believing your delusion. Like, the first period of time is going to be the most important, okay? So this is really important. And I tell this to my clients, and everybody always has like one little tiny excuse, like, oh, but there's this one friend that I need to keep in contact with because this, and this. No. If they bring up the old story, they're eliminated for now. Like, you're not doing this forever, but I'm just saying, like, at the very beginning, when you're trying to change these beliefs that have been there for so long and that are ingrained in you, you really need to eliminate every single thing that could potentially take you out of that new delusion, okay? Because all beliefs are a delusion, all set of beliefs are a delusion. So you're either going to live in your past delusion or you're going to live in your future delusion, whichever one it is, it's all delusion, okay? So like literally, but any topic, any person, anything that's taking you away from your new delusion and bringing you back to your old delusion, you're going to completely eliminate. Like, seriously. If that means going a new way to work, driving a different way, it means leaving out your back door, I don't know, anything. Like, it means not calling that one friend, it means not talking to your brother for a while, or just, for a short period of time. Anyone who's reminding you of the old story, even places that remind you of the old story, if there's a memory, songs that remind you of the old story, anything. I'm saying anything. Like, seriously, bar none, 100%. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay, so that's the action step. I think that was it. Let me see how long I'm, oh yeah, 10 minutes. All right, so if you love this, please thumbs me up. And if you want to seriously transform your life with tips from someone, me, who's been studying Neville and Law of Assumption for like 15 years, definitely would love for you to subscribe, okay? And ring the ding bell as well. And then also, just like seriously, I think a good thing would be to write down below what you're gonna do. Like what are you gonna eliminate, so that you commit to yourself that you are actually doing this and that you are committed to eliminating anything that gets in your way of believing your delusion, whatever person that is, whatever, you know, whatever that is, anything. Just let me know what you're eliminating today, right now, down below. Okay, bye guys.